How's it going, guys? So you've probably seen this whole situation online and in the media. Even they were even talking about it on CNN about this guy. I forget his name. I think it's Khalil or something like that. Khalil, some Palestinian activist guy who's not even a citizen of America, was basically arrested and deported. And all these leftists and all these fruitcakes are up in arms. Oh, what about free speech? What about this? What about that? This is free speech. This is against the law, what you're doing to this guy. All the rest of it. My friends, I like to think about the whole situation with Rabbi Kahana. When Rabbi Kahana, before he moved to Israel, he was very active in America with respect to being active for Soviet Jews, people like my parents and myself, right? And he actually basically started, most people don't realize this, he was the person who inadvertently, or maybe directly started, what came to be known as the Let My People Go movement, right? So he was doing protests on campuses, he was doing events, protests all over the place, right? And it got to a point where he was doing a lot of agitation. But against who? Not against necessarily students on campus, not against even administrators, but more so against outlets or people who were in America representing the Soviet government. And for that he got arrested. He also got arrested for stuff on campus as well, but he got arrested for that in particular. He wasn't out to make regular citizens or people of any particular race or any of the sort uncomfortable. He was out to do two things. He was out to make the Soviet government uncomfortable, which is good, right? Even your garden variety leftists would agree with that today, right? Maybe. I don't know. Back then they didn't agree with that. He was also out to make uncomfortable any person who would attack Jews. Okay. And for that, my friends, he is called an extremist. He's either forgotten, people forgot that he was involved in any of that. They only focus on the stuff in Israel, and even the stuff in Israel was there to protect Jews. But for all that stuff, he's called an extremist, right? And a hate monger or whatever it is, right? Conversely, guys, here you have people, not just this Khalil guy or whatever his name is, all these like fruitcakes and just literal zombies on these campuses, making Jewish students, targeting specifically Jewish students on campuses, and they call it Zionist, the whole thing, pro-Israel. They're targeting Jewish centers, Chabad's, Jewish community centers, Hillel's, etc., right? They're physically threatening them, my friends. Physically intimidating them to the point where these students can't go to class, they can't go to whatever, exams, they can't go to their dorm, etc. And they say that is free speech. And they're not extremists. They are the normal ones. They are good. They're in the right. They're the righteous. My friends. Okay? So, we understand what is what. Those of us who are not zombies, those of us who have a neshama, understand what is what. Okay? There's a big difference between free speech, between, lawful and maybe even legit and righteous assembly versus wearing a keffiyeh and writing a sign that says, Sinwar should do more of what he's doing, and all the rest of his Hamas should do more of what they're doing, and tearing down posters of little babies and of hostages. My friends, there's a big difference. And also screaming about how you think the American government should collapse, and how you think America in general should, go to hell, and all the rest of it, my friends. There's a big difference. Now you could say, well, Tzvi, a lot of people have said that, right? It's free speech, right? You disagree with the American government, you this and that. That's fine. But my friends, if you're coming and you're openly saying you want the downfall of a particular country, the downfall of a particular not just administration, but a particular system, right? And on top of that, you're threatening people on campuses of a particular, religious and ethnic background. My friends, straight up, you gotta you got to go. I don't know necessarily if you got to go to prison, but you definitely have to be kicked off the campus, and it's entirely possible you should be kicked out of the country. And by the way, guys, he's not a citizen. It'd be one thing if you're a citizen, right, of America, and you have the rights of a citizen. You're protected by the Constitution, but you're not a citizen of America. If you can get a good, if he's able to get a good lawyer, and the lawyer somehow finagles, if the guy's on American soil and he can say whatever he wants to say and he's covered by his Constitution, he's not even a citizen of this country. So he should get the step in. My friends, it's very simple, right? I can stand and I can protest all I want. I can protest against Hamas and I can protest against the idea of, a Palestinian state. But if I'm not physically threatening anybody, if I'm not going to the dorms of like Muslim Students Association and putting signs and putting, a pig's head in front of their door, okay, that's free speech, my friends. There are delineations to what is free speech and what is straight up threatening people. Okay? Meanwhile, the same people who say this is free speech would call somebody like Amar Kahana, who fought for Russian Jews and who fought for, who fought against, he fought for really defending Jews physically on the streets of America. They call him an extremist for that. My friends, our sages tell us in the time before the Mashiach, we're going to live in a upside down world, olam hafuch. And we see that is true. So the only thing that we could say, the only solace we can take from that is the fact that we are close to Mashiach, and the closer we get, the crazier and crazier, and the more backwards and backwards things are going to become. And we see that, guys. And in the spirit of Purim, maybe just Hashem will make everything go what's called v'nachapechu, upside down from being upside down, and maybe turn it right side up. Alright, guys, if I don't speak to you, Purim Sameach. I may just speak to you tomorrow about this whole thing with anti-Semitism. We'll see how it goes, and also I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research in terms of Torah sources, because I can't just speak willy-nilly like this regarding this topic. It's a very complicated topic. Anyway, guys, talk to you soon. Peace.